I think that the best way to beat Showdown. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Nick from Begins Gaming, and welcome back to another MLB The Show 20 Diamond Dynasty video. As today, we're going to be talking about how to beat Showdown. Now, in the team affinities, these faces of the franchise are some of the best cards in the game. Like, for example, the Yankees. This Gleyber Torres, hitting 400 with him online. I mean, like, there are really good cards that you can get, especially if you guys are no money spent, guys. This is 1000% the way to go. New cards like Gleyber Torres. You have this Juan Soto, who's incredible. I mean, like, look at these stats. 90, 88, 177. He's just such a good hitter. You also have one of the best cards in the whole game, this 89 Joey Gallo, who has 112, 114 power. He's a diamond fielder. So pretty much what I'm trying to sum up is that these cards are really, really, really worth doing. But Showdown can be tricky sometimes. And especially for me. So I have some ways on how to beat Showdown. So I think that the best way to beat Showdown is to play the whole thing. Now, it's going to be annoying, but you're going to have to go through the whole thing. I'm not going to, I'm actually going to enter into one of these. I'm going to do the AL Central because that's the division of the one that I want to do next. So, first of all, with the drafting, always pick hitters. If you don't pick hitters, you're just not going to have success. So, for example, here I'm picking Lindor. I'm not picking Kopech. I'm going to pick... Also, if you get a really good catcher, make sure you take them most of the time unless you like someone else a lot. I don't really hit well with Donaldson. I'm picking Grandal. If you get a really good catcher, take it because those are really rare to get in these drafts. And you don't want to be stuck with a common catcher on your lineup. So here, you have to take a pitcher because they're all pitchers. So you only want to take pitchers if you have to. I'll take Rich Hill. Alright, so we have more hitters. Also, you want to know who you're going up against. So, you want to know who the bosses are. So, for example, let's say I was doing the AL East here. I'm just going to pick Jorge Soler. Let's say I'm doing the AL East, right? I know that the final boss is Garrett Cole. I should get lefties or people who are just good against righties. So, know who your bosses are. And also, make sure you find budget guys. Like this Franmil Reyes is a bronze. He has 94 power and 78 power and 81 contact. I mean, that's just a incredibly good bronze. You see cards like, I don't know, Jake Bauers. Let's say you had Jake Bauers and Franmil Reyes. Don't just pick someone because it's the bronze round. Actually look at the cards. So, Nick Gordon isn't that good, and then Jake Bauers isn't that good. Just might as well just take him. But, like, make sure you know who's on your draft board. Like, for example, here, Maikel Franco is a solid bronze who has decent stats. Don't just, like, pick Brett Phillips because he's a good fielder. Or Harold Castro because he has good contact versus righties. Pick the one that's the best one. And actually, the best one is Harold Castro. But, like, just sort of review your options. Also, another very important thing for quirks, don't ever pick a pitching quirk. Always pick hitting quirks. So you have increased pitch break, don't take it. Increased pitch accuracy, don't take it. Contact boost, increased pitch velocity, so you're going to take the jump start. And then pitch accuracy, you're not going to take. Contact boost, you're not going to take. You might... Contact boost. So you have 3 contact boost ones. With runners on base and 2 outs, pitches down the middle, or outside pitches when runners are in scoring position, you're going to want to take the one that's going to be used the most, and that's for this, which is pitches down the middle. So you have your quirks, right? You equip your quirks. You have your team ready. So generate best team, and also make sure you look over the guys that the game gives you for free without drafting. Because there were some cards that they gave for free that were really good hitters for me. Like in the AL East one, I didn't draft Teoscar Hernandez, 70-something overall bronze for the Blue Jays. He had like 75 power versus both sides, but he had like a game-winning home run for me. And he had some great production in a showdown run where I completed it. So make sure you look at the guys that they give you. There's no one really here that's actually good. Let me see. Harold Castro we drafted. None of these guys are actually really that good. So that was one where they didn't give us any good players. Also, make sure you're subbing in the guys that you picked for the guys they give you. And also make sure that you're getting the best cards that you can. So, for example, what I just did, Franmil Reyes, they put him on the bench for some reason. So I put him in. And then Delino DeShields, he's a horrible hitter. Alex Gordon has better stats, so I'm going to put Alex Gordon in. And then I'm going to put him at his primary. Or not, because Franmil Reyes does not have center field. So you really want to have like a good strategy. And for like here, how do you say that? Ehire Adrianza. I don't know how to say his name. He has 60, 70, 43, 40 power. Kelvin Gutierrez has 56, 53, 50, 41. I would take the contact over him. So there, I just put him at third. Nick Gordon. He has pretty bad hitting stats. I'm taking him out, and I'm putting in... Is he better? And also, make sure you guys if you're skeptical, you can compare. So just take him out and then compare. Secondary. Where did he just go? Who was the guy who I was looking at? Oh wait. All right. I'm just gonna put in Harold Castro too because he has better hitting stats, or he has a better hitting stat versus righties. So just build your team the right way and search through your entire every player. Also, set your lineup for individual moments. So, for example, this one. The heart of the lineup in Cleveland is also deadly as any. Headlined by Francisco Lindor, Jose Ramirez, and Carlos Santana. Get out of a jam without giving up a run. This is going to require you to have a starting pitcher to use. So go to your team. So the Indians, they're better against, or check what they're better against. So go to the let's say here. I'm just going to go to the collections because it's quicker. So it was Santana, Ramirez, and Lindor. So Lindor is good against both, but he's better against righties. Ramirez is better against righties. And then Santana is better against lefties. So 2v1, they're better versus righties. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to your team. You're going to set your number one starting pitcher to be a lefty because they're worse against lefties. Mine's already a lefty, so I'm just going to leave it. Another example of this is when you were hitting. Let's say you are, let's say it's the bottom of the ninth and you're down by one and you need to win the game during that inning. Put players out of position. Let's say there's a lefty pitching and you have to win the game in that inning. Just put in James McCann over this guy out of position because it's not going to matter because you're just going to be hitting. I'm going to put him back because I'm not going to do that yet. Also, when you're doing these elimination ones, that's where people mess up, and that's where I messed up. These elimination ones are where you get eliminated, obviously, because you can't get eliminated by the other ones. But this is where it gets frustrating because these are honestly kind of hard, not even gonna lie. What you want to do is know who you're going against. Let's say the pitcher is a righty. Stack your guys with lefties or guys who can hit righties better. Put players out of position just to make your hitting better because you're not going to be in the field. Just simple things, really. And you also just make sure you prepare. And another thing is, the more you do, the more runs you get for the final showdown. That's why you really need to just play the entire thing. I don't recommend you skip to the end unless you're a really, really, really good player like McGunsky or Kyle or Pitching Rebel, etc. Those guys, then just go right ahead. But guys who aren't, I'm not trying to flex, but I'm pretty good at the game. I made a World Series, I think, 3 times last year. I'm pretty good at the game, but I still struggle. It's perfectly fine if you get eliminated. Just make sure you don't get eliminated all the time. Also, feel free to redraft. If you don't like your team, if you didn't get any really good hitters, just forfeit and redo it. It'll cost you some more stubs, but you'll just get the stubs back. So, yeah, redraft if you don't want to, or if you don't like your team. And also, another thing is, the first 3 moments, if you like fail all 3 of them, just restart, because those 4 runs are so valuable. Make sure you're completing these. If you fail like 1 or 2, you're fine. But if you fail like 4 out of the first 5, you should probably restart, because if you keep playing, it's not really going to help that much. Like, let's say I did this one, I got 1, and then I failed these 2. That's 1 run. I beat this. Failed all 3 of these. Beat this. The most I can get it up to is 7, which I don't think is that high. I would recommend at least 9. If you can get it to 9 to 15 with 20 outs, keep going. If you can't, I would restart. Unless you're like all the way at the end. If you've already gone through everything and you're at this last one and it's 7 to 15 and you don't get it, obviously just play it. See what happens. But like if you're in the middle or in the beginning and you failed all of these, just restart, because it's not going to help keep playing if you keep playing, because it's still going to be hard. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. I hope these tips helped, because I definitely needed them a couple days ago and I figured them out myself. I'm still struggling in Showdown sometimes. It's a really annoying mode, but it's really cool. I like it. It's a good addition. It's just frustrating sometimes. And it's also like the #1 way of getting those faces of the franchise. So it's really worth doing. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been your host, Nick from Begins Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.